What is up guys, and I do hope you're well, and today we're back with more Entitled Parents. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe even the notification bell. And let's get started. Entitled mum wants to sue the zoo for her son's orbital fracture. I worked at a zoo for over 3 years and ran into all sorts of entitled parents. Something about being around wild animals really brings out the worst in some people. By far the craziest parent I ever ran into was EM. It was a typical summer day at the zoo. It was packed, like it always was in the summer, and there's tons of kids playing on the brand new playground we just opened that week. A few co-workers and I were asked to help with crowd control over by the playground, and we had first aid kits at the ready, in case any kids scraped their knees, got sunburns, etc. Enter EM. She rushes up to my co-worker, zoo employee or ZE, and she's dragging her little boy behind her. EM said, "My son just fell off your playground equipment." "Oh no, is he okay?" She looks at the kid, but he seems to be fine. "No, he's not okay. He has an orbital fracture." Zoo employee takes a closer look. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the boy's face. He's not even crying. "How do you know it's an orbital fracture?" "I'm a nurse at the local hospital, so I know." "Well, Mum, if you want our security personnel to take a look." "I do not need some untrained rent-a-cop to look at my son. He needs to go to hospital. You need to call an ambulance." "I'm sorry, I'm not authorised to call an ambulance unless it's an emergency." "This is an emergency. My son is in pain." He doesn't seem to be in much pain. This is when EM straight up crouches down, grabs her son's face and pokes him in the eyeball. Her kid winces and kind of whimpers, because who wouldn't? "See, he's in pain. Call an ambulance right now, and the zoo is going to pay for it. I'm going to sue you for endangering my child." Zoo employee is thinking that the only person endangering the child is his mother, but she doesn't say that. Instead, she calls security, who, by the way, are all EMTs and trained professionals. When they get there, EM is thrown an absolute fit, screaming about how she's going to sue the zoo for every last penny it owns, and how if they don't call an ambulance soon, her son's going to have permanent eye damage. One of the security guards, SG, crouches down next to the kid and asks him where it hurts. The kid points vaguely to his face. Security guard puts on gloves and goes to inspect the kid's eye. That's when EM loses it. "Stop it! Don't touch my son with your dirty penis hands!" What? And I kid you not, she said this. "I will not let you touch my son with your penis hands, you rapist. I'm going to report you to the police. You're going to get fired for this." She gestures to everyone. "All of you are going to get fired." Then EM takes her son and storms out the zoo with a security escort. To this day, this stands out as one of the strangest interactions I've had with another human being. I just hope that the kid survived his mother long enough to grow up into a decent person. Penis hands. Oh my god. Who says that? Oh, yes. Again, it's always with these ones, you always feel sorry for the child, because what are they going to grow up to be when they got a parent like that? And that she actually crouched down and poked the kid in the eye to hurt him. Oh, that poor child. Dear Miss Anti-Vax, hope he is resting well. This might be a little sad post, don't know if it is or not. Mobile and blah blah blah. EM, I'm not any more entitled, not any more anti-vaxxer mum. SF, sister's friend, child of EM, who dies. What? Oh my word, here we go. Our older neighbour's rent had expired recently, and this play being in a school district of the best school in the county. Don't know if I read that bit right or what, I didn't quite understand it. Got a new neighbour quick, and that became Miss Anti-Vax. She was really nice at first, but when I told her my sister couldn't come over to play with SF because she is getting a flu vaccine, she questioned me and kept trying to make me change my mind, even though my parents controlled it whether or not. But it didn't work, and she kept asking me why I was poisoning her. I wasn't, and due to this she didn't want anything to do with me until later. Fast forward a few months, and the child got a disease, and the mother was devastated and asked the doctor how this could have stopped. He replied, "Sorry Mom, you should have vaccinated your child." Then she realised that vaccines weren't autism or poison, it was medical help. A week later I found out the child had died, and the worst part, I found him very talented and a nice child, even though he was 3. He could draw well, he knew manners, and he would apologise a lot, and make it up by drawing you his best picture ever. It wasn't his best, but still good for his age. He was a good friend to my sister. And then his mother realised who she had lost, and stopped acting entitled. She couldn't have a child anymore, although she got a new husband, she couldn't. And she frankly became more nice and less entitled, became a vaxxer, and ended in a good ending. Always vaccinate your children, people. it's a very sort of vague story with not many details in there, like what disease the child had or anything like that. But if this is true, man, to lose a child because you didn't vaccinate him, it makes me sick. And then obviously the mother's carrying on living and your child's gone. So yeah, there isn't really much to say about that one, is there? EP screams I'm an alcoholic and that I should leave the grocery store. Hey folks, yesterday I encountered another parent who thought they had superiority over me. They don't. I can buy whatever I want, whenever I want, because I'm an adult. Unfortunately for me, I got sick right after Easter weekend. I described it to my mum as your average flu with a drizzle of diarrhea and sprinkled with tummy cramps. Fantastic. I've been working at home this whole week, bless my job, and didn't get out of the house often. Yesterday, I was feeling a tad better, and my boyfriend suggested we meet up at our local grocery store to buy some dinner. Wonderful idea. It gets me out of the house and we spent a bit of time together. On my way to the store, boyfriend called and said he was running a bit late due to the huge traffic jams in the city. Fine by me, I can wait. Next to our grocery store is a liquor store and I just received my salary. I had money. Nah, not that much, but enough to spark with a brilliant idea to buy me a bottle of whiskey. Got into the store, picked 2 whiskies, paid, and got out of the store with my 2 baby bottles. I was standing outside the grocery store and the liquor store with my bottles in hand, waiting for my boyfriend, doing nothing really, other than checking my phone every now and then to see where my boyfriend's at. Yay, WhatsApp location share. In comes Dolores, slightly chubby mum with her 2 kids, 10 and 7. I was paying attention to my phone, so I didn't see her getting in, but why should I bother, right? Dolores tapped on my shoulder and said, "Pardon me, little girl, but you're definitely not old enough to buy these bottles." She actually tries to pick the bottles out of my arm. I jump back, protecting my bottles with my phone in hand. My face had an expression which Dolores certainly didn't like. "What do you think you're doing, young lady?" "What do you think you're doing?" I respond. "You cannot just assume that I'm not old enough to buy liquor and then proceed to steal it from me. I'm 23, and you keep your hands to yourself. Besides, shouldn't you be a role model to your kids and teach them not to be nosy and steal from other people?" This comment didn't sit well with her. At all. "Don't lecture me on how to raise my kids. You're not a mum. You know nothing, you filthy alcoholic. Leave this store or I'll call the police," she screams. If you look real close, you could see the steam coming out of her ears and nose. Her kids looked terrified and tried to hide behind their mum. I really felt sorry for the kids, but I'm not going to leave the store just because she's sticking her nose in my business. You can call the police all you want, but you know you're going to lose. There are tapes in the liquor store that shows me buying these bottles and showing my ID card to the cashier to verify that I'm old enough to buy it all. I've done nothing wrong. I was only waiting here, and you're making that a living hell. Just get your ugly arse nose out of my business and do your shopping. Dolores was fuming, but she knew I was right. She stomped off into the store with her kids in tow. Just a shy minute later, my boyfriend arrives, and we get into the grocery store as well. I put the bottles in our cart, and we get into a discussion about what we should get for dinner. In the corner of my eye, I see her hand reach into the cart for the bottles. It's Dolores again. This time, however, boyfriend is with me, and he can become intimidating quickly. "What do you think you're doing?" said my boyfriend in a very stern tone. "She's an alcoholic. She doesn't deserve this," Dolores responded. Oh my, such a classic, but boyfriend is not satisfied with that answer. First, she is not an alcoholic. How would you even know? We don't know you. Second, she does enjoy a whiskey every now and then, and likes variation. Do you enjoy eating fries every day? Because you look like you do. But don't you like to replace it with a pizza every now and then? Third, don't you dare insult her again. With every word he spoke, it looked like he became bigger and bigger. Dolores shrank and became smaller and smaller. It was a delight to see. She got her hand out the cart, huffed and puffed like every entitled mother does, and continued doing her shopping. Every time we came across her in the shop, she gave us a death glare and quickly walked the opposite way to get away from us. After dinner, me and my boyfriend laughed the situation off while enjoying a glass of whiskey. Oh, why do these parents just think they can sort of take stuff from people? I like the way the boyfriend though actually sort of goes into detail about she enjoys a whiskey every now and then and likes a bit of variation. Do you enjoy eating fries? Because you look like you do. But don't you want to replace it with a pizza? I just say, get the fuck out of here, you know, get off me, go away. Don't need to go into too much detail with an entitled parent. They're simple beings. Don't be rude to the McDonald's cashier if you didn't get that Pokemon Happy Meal toy that you want, because he controls what goes into the box. I like Pokemon. I also like McDonald's. So when McDonald's decided to release some legendary Pokemon Happy Meal toys, I was ecstatic. They offered 2 different Pokemon every week, so every Saturday for about a month, I would walk down to my local McDonald's and buy whatever Pokemon figure they had that week. I ended up with Latias, Latios, Groudon, Kyogre, Dialga, and Palkia. I don't even know if I got any of those right by the end of the month. Funny thing is, I only originally intended to buy Latias and oh god, why are they doing the names again? Latias and Palkia. Because they were my favourite of the selection. I got Latias on day one, but I spent weeks trying to get Palkia. I bought the rest of the figures each week as to not waste a trip, and the employees started to recognise me. This is important. The next week is where my story happens. I walk into McDonald's and get into the queue. Ahead of me, a woman, let's call her Karen. Oh wait, actually no, let's not call her Karen. Pokemon has a character called Karen, and she is really sweet and inspirational. Let's call this woman Debbie. Debbie's in a screaming fit at the poor cashier. She's waving an unopened Dialga figure in his face. Apparently this Dialga is from a previous Happy Meal, and she was trying to get it replaced, which is why she had it before she made her order. Debbie said, "What do you mean you don't have any other Pokemons?" The plural of Pokemon is Pokemon, lady. We only have 2 this week. That one, and the white and blue one, Latios I'm assuming. I don't want this retarded horse or a dragon. Get me a pink one. We don't have... Yes you do. I saw a pink one on the TV, so you should have it. I want to see the manager. The employee firmly said, "Look ma'am, the manager would only say the same thing as I said. We only have 2 figures this week. The pink one you're talking about is not here because we haven't ordered it in yet. If you want any of the other figures left over from last week, I don't care. Go look for one." Employee sighs and start digging around in a basket. His eyes go wide for a moment as he pulls out a Palkia figure, looking as though he didn't expect it to be in the basket. Then he notices me behind Debbie and his face turns to uh-oh face. Debbie notices that he's found a Palkia figure. "There, that wasn't so hard, was it?" He sighs and puts it into a Happy Meal box that Debbie ordered. Debbie smiles smugly and goes to sit down at a table. Instead of grabbing the box and returning to her seat, she expects it to be delivered to her. Typical. Employee goes to take my order. "I'm sorry, but that was the only Palkia we have. We haven't actually ordered any more yet, so that one must have fallen in there by mistake during delivery." "That's fine, I'll come in next week." Employee suddenly smiles though he thought of something. "So you want a chicken nugget Happy Meal?" I stand there confused. Employee grabs Debbie's Happy Meal box from the counter and hands it to me. "Whoa, what are you doing?" "I'll just say that you ordered the same thing and that I gave you the wrong box by mistake." So I ended up taking my Happy Meal box home and the Palkia figure inside. What a nice guy. I always thought like in McDonald's they have like the whole selection of toys and you can like go in there and buy them. I don't know if that's a rumour or one of those silly rumours that you can just go in there and actually just pay for the toys themselves and you can buy them all at the same time rather than having one each week. I don't know if that's the case or not. But yeah, that employee sounds great because he's just about to... Obviously we didn't see what happened after, but he was about to get a grilling from Debbie. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Entitled Parents. It's always a pleasure to have you watch my videos. Thank you so much. Take care now. Goodbye.